Pearls says, anxiety, that kind of anxiety. This is an unwarranted leap forward. Ran ahead, imagined yourself in a place where you're not there yet. Anxiety. Well, to Pearls, it's very important that one notices everything, including one's bodily states. He says, anxiety is actually stilted breathing. This is the kind of unreasonable breath holding, gripped by anxiety. The teacher's finger slowly moves through the class journal and in the classroom, and the classroom is quiet, dead quiet. A lot of people are anxious. Pearls says, why did the teacher's finger stop at your last name? Why get ahead of yourself? But now the teacher's finger is on your last name. And then the person, the bearer of this surname, can already either completely stiffen up, or there's little else that can happen from anxiety. And why? Pearls advises one should constantly ask oneself a question, especially if something is unclear. There is no insight, no understanding of the situation. Where am I? I'm at a desk, for example. Where will I be soon? At the blackboard. Am I at the blackboard now? No. So why am I in anxiety? If you practice like this, I'm sorry, those who love their anxiety so much, anxiety will go away. Pearls says, and when she's gone, when the negative reactions are gone, the emotional, the positive ones will open up, shall we say, interest in the subject that caused the previous anxiety, or shall we say excitement about the subject. That's what Pearls says. Excitement is a very different state from anxiety. And then a couple more little examples. Figure and background. Because usually we only emphasize the figure. And if the person is a whole, irreducible to the parts, it's worth saying, when we isolate something as a figure, are even laws of perception, which now is not the time to explain. We distinguish this figure by a somewhat exaggerated. It's bigger than it really is. And so often some small personal problems are emphasizing the figure, even though the solution is in the background. But we don't pay attention to the background. We don't notice it. Then Pearls gives us this advice, or rather suggests that we try. Next to our desk or above the bed, there's a painting of some kind. I put it up myself. I was attracted to it. It was interesting. And then, let's just say a little boring. And I, for one, want to see something new in her. And then I can look at the painting and kind of mentally trace the outline of it. The contour is actually the figures, and the background, one and the same, and only when the figure is a gestalt. Then the contour always belongs to the figure. Now try this, says the Gestalt therapist. To think of the figure as a background, and vice versa, let the background become a figure. This is the outline you assign to the background. and who has a hard time visualizing, let him know that on the banks of the Seine, in the city of Paris, sit mischievous in a good way artists who sell paintings, copies, reproductions of the famous Gioconda, Mona Lisa, Leonardo da Vinci, with one odd change. There's no Gioconda. Instead of this figure, there's an empty space. The artist offers, what are you looking at all the time in the Louvre? There's a whole crowd of them. You can't see behind the glass. Look at the background. You've always seen this figure in this background. Did you ever notice this background? Back to our painting. Louvre is far away. We're watching. We've managed to turn the background into a shape. The figure is temporarily gone. It's like we can't see it. In any case, we're trying to see the background. But we can't hold out much longer. We can't last. The figure and the background will recover. And at that moment, an unusual thing can happen. When you pay attention to the background, something new, interesting, emerges in the figure. All right, just a very everyday example. Waiting for transportation, it happens to everyone almost every day. I'm late for something and I'm waiting for, like, a bus. And the bus is a figure. And I'm waiting for it, I'm all anxious. I'm waiting for the bus to come. And the Gestalt therapist says, and does your anxiety somehow determine the arrival of the bus? More in the psychological sense, you'll lengthen your wait for the bus. If you're anxious, the bus won't come early if you want it to. And then you have time, you basically have time. You can forget about the figure and observe the background. You look at what's around you. You'll be interested in the faces of the people standing next to you. They're anxious, introspect. Just that you were the same. Look at the trees, look how interesting everything is. There's something else that's come up in this painting. Let's say it's a bus. Maybe you should get on it.